has claimed on many occasions that the world will never quite recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. While that might be true, on this present evening, I take great pleasure in acknowledging the remarkable most valuable parents, cherished faculty members, and of course, my dear students. We are privileged to have among us today Dr. K.J. Director CLRI and Chairman of CHD 70 of the Bureau of Indian Standards. He is a remarkable individual who has achieved great success in science and technology, and we are delighted to have you here, sir. Next, I am honored to welcome renowned cardiologist Dr. M.A. Raga, who is a Chairman, Medical Advisory Board, MGM Cancer Institute and MGM Healthcare. He is known for his wonderful administration and high achievement. Thank you, sir, for accepting the invitation. Now it's my honor to introduce Professor R. Venkatraman, ex-Dean and Director, XMIE, XLRI, and has served in other prestigious institutions like Ragas Institute of Management, LIBA, and JIM. His words of wisdom and encouragement will motivate us. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the institution, I thank you for gracing this momentous occasion. We are gathered here this fine evening for the dental graduation day of the Ragas Dental College and Hospital. Over the last 4 decades, JR group of institutions have become a force to reckon with in the sphere of education, from preschools to the PhDs. Ragas Dental College and Hospital has contributed immensely to this illustrious growth. Our dental college has outranked over 300 universities all over India and occupied 32nd position in the NIRF ranking by a Ministry of Education. Not only we are the first private dental college to have post-graduation in all the dental faculties of specialties in South India, we are also the first dental college in the region to host a PhD degree. We have upheld the tradition of training students and holding a record number of distinctions year after year in the examinations conducted by the Tamil Nadu Dr.M.G.R. Medical University. Statistics speak to our quality of technical training. While our distinguished alumni, many of whom are IAS and IPS officers, chairs of important dental departments in Canada, USA, and other European countries, our rich tradition, this speaks to our rich tradition of molding and nurturing talent and their abilities. Having said that, I would like to turn your attention back to the exceptional batch of students gathered here today to celebrate their graduation. First and foremost, I want to congratulate each and every one of you on this significant achievement. Your hard work, dedication, and commitment to your studies have paid off, and you should be proud of yourself for reaching this milestone. You have shown that even in the face of adversity, you have the strength to overcome obstacles. The quality will stand you in good stead, and you embark on the next phase of your careers. While the COVID-19 pandemic affected every aspect of our lives, you have adapted remarkably to the new reality of remote learning, social distancing, and virtual classrooms. You have shown that you are not only capable of handling the academic rigor of dental studies, but also dealing with the real-world challenges. Your ability to adjust to changing circumstances and still achieve academic excellence is a testament to your character and to your dedication to your profession. I would like to add that this graduating class is not only remarkable for their academic achievements, but in fact they are also a part of Generation Z or Gen Z as they are better known. This is a generation born after 2000, and they bring with them a unique perspective on the world and the dental profession. As members of this new generation, you have exposed to the new teaching and learning modules, including online and hybrid models that were not available to the previous generations. You have grown up in a world where patients have become consumers and where social media plays an interesting aspect in shaping the public perceptions of the industry. You are also entering a profession at a time when new laws and regulations such as the Clinical Establishment Act are changing the landscape of dental practice. Additionally, you are entering a world where artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly important in the healthcare sector, including the industry, which means that you will be constantly need to stay up to date to the latest developments in order to promote best possible care for your patients. But I am confident that you are a Ragan, proud alumnus of Ragas, who is inherently well prepared to meet these challenges head on. You have already shown your adaptability and resilience in the face of the pandemic, and I am sure that you will continue to embrace change and innovation as you embark on your careers. You are the future of the dental profession, and I have no doubt that you will make a positive impact on the lives of your patients and the society as a whole. As you move on to the next phase of your life, I want to encourage you to continue to be tenacious and self-sufficient. Your training has equipped you to make a positive impact on society, and I have no doubt that you will go on to do great things in your careers. Popular belief claims that the mind longs for quantity while the soul desires quality, and I am beyond ecstatic to say that this batch has accomplished both these tremendous feats throughout their journey with us. I am certain that in the years to come, you will carry on the Ragas legacy and bring nothing but glorious to our alma mater. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Good evening to all the students whose studentship gets over today. So, first of all, my thanks to the management to have me here. I'm not very sure why I'm here, because I'm practically a leather technologist. So what does leather have to do with dentistry, right? But let me come back and say what is common amongst us. First of all, I'm honored to be here today speaking to you of such a prestigious college. I think it's time we forget that you are the COVID batch and things like that, because once in the field, it is immaterial what you are. One thing which we will have to remember is that the word Raga means a fusion, which evokes a specific feeling in those who hear it. Each Raga has a unique melodic personality, and therefore, when you pass out from a college of that name, you should also have a unique personality. You cannot be just another dentist or just another doctor amongst the thousands of them in the field. You have all completed the so-called challenging and rigorous program, and you are now prepared for a career. All you have been taught and trained, they have all done it in the same manner. Now, from among those of you, hundreds, let me put it, I strongly wish that each of you will move out of this hall after this program with a unique, melodic personality and thus contribute to the healthcare of this country. The future of India is bright. It holds immense potential for growth and development. With a growing population and an increasing technological advancement, India today is poised for becoming a leader player in the global economy. One of the key drivers of the Indian future is the young and highly motivated, educated workforce. The country has a large pool of skilled professionals which would drive innovation and shape the future of the industries, including IT, biotechnology, renewable energy, and of course, healthcare. The government's efforts to improve the country's healthcare infrastructure is likely to enhance the number of people from other countries coming to India for their healthcare needs. And this opens up the question of globalization and the impact on our daily life. The future will require you to be culturally aware, adaptable to individuals, and able to work with people from diverse areas of the world. You will have to embrace diversity and promote inclusivity, which will be very critical in creating a harmonious and prosperous future. John Dewey, a philosopher and educational reformer, has said, education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. In his opinion, the primary purpose of education should not revolve around a predetermined set of skills, but rather a realization of one's full potential and the ability to use those skills for the greater good. In his own words, a teacher is to be aware of these complexities of the mind-to-mind transfer, and she or he has the intellectual fortitude to identify the successes and failures in you. It was said that the classes were held virtually. Now when you and the teacher are not in the same space, how did this process of mind-to-mind transfer happen? And that, friends, is the strength of India. We have, through the process of generations, learned this art of student and the taught, the Guru Sishya Parampara, as we call it. And in this, the teacher is somehow in a kind of situation that they can reach your mind even if we are not in the same physical space. And that, therefore, does not create an issue when it comes to learning in this country. Of course, the journey from now on is without the teacher. The one on whom you relied upon to ask, am I doing a mistake or am I doing it right, is no longer there with you in the physical space. You are on your own in the world. This world, of course, is full of opportunities, but with endless challenges. It would be best for you not to regret the missing chances of life that lies ahead. This journey is full of learning from the challenges, learning from the day-to-day problems that you are likely to encounter. Friends, as a doctor, you have a unique opportunity. And that unique opportunity, compared to many others, comes in the form of putting a smile on somebody's face. Now, you can make a positive impact or even a negative impact. It's an opportunity that none of the other people in the world would get, because you are the ones who have the best ability to make somebody smile. To me, yours is not a profession. It calls for a commitment to lifelong learning. As we in the leather industry say, every human feet is unique. Though we try to crop them into different sizes and push the legs into the same type of shoes, actually speaking, every feet is different. And it calls for customization. Unfortunately, we are not able to. The teeth is no different. Every single person comes with a unique character, and that character cannot be generalized. And you will get new opportunities in your patients every day. And this calls for you to adopt the latest research and techniques, continuously hone your skills, and of course, upgrade your tools. Remember, when you are working with a patient, they cannot shout out of pain because you have kept their mouth in your hand. So the sound doesn't come out, and that requires your empathy and compassion. You cannot look at their mouth like any robotic arm, just bothered about your job and not bothered about their problems. When we were taught footwear engineering, we learned that footwear making required not just the knowledge of leather science, but mechanical engineering, surface science, chemical engineering, foot biomechanics, orthopedics, and much more. You are in a similar position. You may give me a good teeth repair, but damage my face or alter it altogether. So, great rewards come when you are artistic, ready to learn multiple technologies, think out of the box, embrace innovation, and of course technology. For instance, material science inputs to meet the consumer aesthetics. Now I am calling your patient as a consumer. The consumer desires and challenges, which are always evolving. Nano coatings for whiteness, antimicrobial resistance, slow release of odor control fragrances, etc. are all evolving in your system. Areas where the clinicians, bio-nanotechnologists, biologists, material science experts, organic chemists, etc. are all coming together to meet and converge into areas such as targeted drug delivery, stem cell based tissue regeneration, and so on and so forth. We at the Central Research Institute have been working with the protein collagen, because that's a protein with which we make the leather. And we also, because of that, have been working with some dental students to understand the abrasion resistance of the coatings which you generally put onto the teeth. And of course, the adhesion properties as well, which are very common between my industry and yours. Overall, we are talking about convergence of multiple disciplines: art, culture, consumer desire, fashion, and of course, the branches of science and engineering, and of course, many of things which we never imagined also. Post-COVID, two aspects that every professional can contribute to for the benefit of the society are the supply chain logistics and database. The days of single source dependency for our materials is over. We need to know from where the materials that are required for your work is available, and at what cost and how much time it would take. Say for instance, I don't think a patient would wait for you to give them a crown after 1 month. They want it today itself. Those days are gone when the dentist tells, okay, I've taken your this thing, come back after 1 month, I will put your crown. You say, get lost, I will go to somebody else. And if your source of supply is not going to give it as per the consumer need, you are out of business. And this is the new challenge. I just give you a small example of an article which appeared in May 2020 in the Hindu. It spoke about two challenges. The challenge was a short supply of testing swabs, and the cost of the testing swab imported from China costing about ₹17 per stick. The thing that happened was the convergence of Johnson & Johnson's, which makes the earbuds, and Reliance, which makes polyester staple fiber. And of course, they gave the swab at 1/10 to the price of a Chinese swab. And this is the knowledge that we all need to know. So where does the supply come? Can I get it from multiple sources? Can I get it according to the price segment that I want? This becomes very important for the kind of work that you are likely to do in the future. The next thing is a database. Specific observations that we leave out as minor could become vital as early warning signs for controlling a particular disease in an individual or a pandemic in the country. You go back and look at it, one case of a Nipah that occurred, if not reported, it could have led to a mega problem in the country. And it is thanks to those doctors who I could say that this is possibly that disease or a viral, and therefore has to be reported. Who knows, even in your own small clinics or elsewhere, you would come across such observations, and that could lead to an important decision which the government can take to prevent a pandemic or so on and so forth. Therefore, how do we control such information? And this is where the information technology comes into picture. Your principal just spoke about artificial intelligence. Of course, they are good, they are bad. But you need to have a complete database, and from those databases, create new knowledge systems which could possibly help the country and the globe as such. Finally, the greatest reward for you is not just a smile on your patient's face, but knowing that you have contributed to improving the oral health care and overall the quality of life worldwide. Your strength and your success is your confidence, your determination, and your ability to make a difference in the lives of those who you serve. I conclude with two statements that have contributed to the success of my institute. They were leather excellence and doing better today than yesterday forever. To you, I leave a message. Create excellence in your field and never get saturated. The motto of my institute is the best motto that we all can look forward to. Doing better today than yesterday forever. Thank you for your attention and the opportunity.
இங்கே கூடியிருக்கும் எல்லாருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். எனக்கு 50 வயசான போது யாரும் என்ன கேட்டாங்க நீ என்ன நினைக்கிற அப்படின்னு. அப்போ I told them, I realize I am not going to live as many more years as I already lived. அப்படின்னு சொன்னா every day is from now on doubly precious. So after that, every day I have actually tried to decide where I want to be at any given time. Because if I am here, I am not there. So today, thanks to the management of Ragas Dental College, I am here because I want to be here and I like to be here. I thank you for this opportunity. இன்னைக்கு என்னோட நிறைய படித்த நிறைய அனுபவம் இருக்கிற 2 சீஃப் கெஸ்ட் வந்திருக்கிறாங்க. 2 ராமச்சந்திர மூர்த்திகள், 2 ராமருக்கு நடுவில் அனுமார் மாதிரி நான் இருக்கிறேன். முதல்ல நான் I want to thank the parents. ஏன்னா நம்ம we consider ourselves the most developed species. ஆனால் we are the only species 20 வயசு வரைக்கும் கையை பிடிச்சிட்டு நடந்தோம். 20 வயசு வரைக்கும் நாமளே வழி நடத்தோம், எல்லாம் சொல்லிக் கொடுத்தோம். So we are, like I said, supposedly the most intelligent and most developed species. அது இந்தியன் பேரண்ட் இஸ் வெரி யூனிக். இந்தியன் பேரண்ட் தொப்புள் கொடி அறக்கவே மாட்டாங்க. 30 வயசானாலும் 40 வயசானாலும் 50 வயசானாலும் ஏன் குழந்தை, they are there to support, to guide, to sacrifice. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு இத்தனை பசங்க படித்து பட்டம் வாங்குறாங்கன்னா அதுக்கு ஒவ்வொரு பேரண்ட்டுக்கு எத்தனையோ கஷ்டப்பட்டுருப்பீங்க. ஃபிசிக்கலாக கஷ்டப்பட்டு, இமோஷனலாக கஷ்டப்பட்டு, ஃபைனான்ஷியலாக கஷ்டப்பட்டு. இது உங்களுடைய அச்சீவ், இது உங்களுடைய அச்சீவ். இது நான் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் நான் அனுபவிச்சேன். ஐ கம் ஃப்ரம் வெரி ஆர்டினரி ஃபேமிலி. எங்கள் அப்பா ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணேன். MBBS சீட்டு எங்கள் வீட்டில் எப்படி எனக்கு சொல்ல வளர்த்தாங்கன்னா, உனக்கா கிடைச்சா படிச்சுக்கோ. எங்கள் அப்பா அம்மாட்ட நான் கேட்பேன், எப்படி கிடைக்கும், ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்தால் கிடைக்கும். அதனால தான் ஸ்டேட் ஃபஸ்ட் வந்தேன். நாட்டுக்காக I wanted to make sure I want to study. 240 ரூபாய் ஃபீஸ், 240 rupees ஃபீஸ் பர் இயர். அதுவே எங்கள் அப்பா ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணேன். The moment I finished my MBBS, எங்கள் அப்பா சொன்னார், என்னால் அவனை படிக்க வைக்கிறது முடியாது. அதுக்கு மேலே நான் படித்ததெல்லாம் கடன் வாங்கி படித்தேன். நிறைய நண்பர்கள் இருந்தாங்க, கடவுளுடைய அருள் இருந்தது. அதனால கஷ்டப்பட்டு படிக்கிறதுனா என்னன்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் எல்லாம் கிராஜுவேட் பண்ணுறீங்க. என்னுடைய இளம் தோழர்கள், என்னுடைய மருத்துவ துறையில் நிபுணர்கள், நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒன்று சொல்கிறேன், இது ஜஸ்ட்டு ஒரு ஸ்டார்டிங் பாயிண்ட் தான். இவ்வளோ நாள் நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி உங்கள் அப்பா அம்மா உங்கள் கையை பிடிச்சி நடந்தேன். இனிமே தான் உங்கள் லைஃப் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். இனிமே உள்ள லைஃப் மறுபடியும் நீங்கள் வேறு யாராவது சப்போர்ட்டில் இருக்க போகிறீங்களா, இல்லை நீங்கள் தூளாக இருந்து மற்றவங்களை சப்போர்ட் பண்ண போகிறீங்களா? இதுதான் நீங்கள் லைஃப்பில் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். லைஃப்பில் we should have focus. நம்ம எதுக்கு படித்தோம்? Why are we alive? Why are we living in the society? There are children dying for meaningless reasons. There are very well qualified people who are dying very prematurely. நாம் உயிரோடு இருக்கோம்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு அர்த்தம். We should give a meaning to our life. என்னமோ வந்தோம் போனோம் அப்படி இருக்கக்கூடாது. அப்படி இருக்கணும்னா you need that mindset. See, the problem in India we are so quick to blame other people. எது கிடைக்கலனாலும் அது சிஸ்டம் சரியில்லை, அரசாங்கம் சரியில்லை, அது இருக்குது இது இருக்குது, இப்படியே வாழ்க்கையை ஓட்டலாம். பட் யூ வில் பி வேர் யூ ஆர். ஆர் யூ கேன் சே, திஸ் இஸ் த சிஸ்டம், ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் இட், ஐ அக்செப்ட் இட், நவ் லெட் மீ சி ஹவு ஐ கேன் ஓவர் கம் த சிஸ்டம். And I can tell you it is possible, again from my personal experience. It is possible to overcome any challenge, provided நமக்கு அந்த நம்பிக்கை வேணும். நம்ம பிரச்சனையே என்னன்னா நாமளே நம்மளை நம்புறது. ஏதாவது முடியுமானா என்னால் முடியாது. முதல்லையே you fail yourself. I can assure every one of you graduate here, there is nothing you cannot achieve. There is nothing you cannot achieve. Every one of you is a champion, potential. Every one of you can be a leading light in your field. You can be a leading citizen of this country, a leading citizen of this world, where people look up to you as a role model, where people look up to you for guidance, people come to you for help. அது நடக்கணும்னா அந்த மைண்ட் செட் என்னவோ 1001 10,001 அப்படி இருக்கலாம், இல்லை தனியாக ஷைன் பண்ணணும். திஸ் ஷுட் பி யுவர் எய்ம். நாளைக்கு எங்கே சினிமா போகலாம், எங்கே சாப்பிடலான்றது இதுலேயே வாழ்க்கை ஓட்டக்கூடாது. தேர் இஸ் சம்திங் பியாண்ட் தட் இஸ் கால்ட் ஃபோக்கஸ். ஸோ இதுக்கு வேணும்னா ஃபஸ்ட்டு நமக்கு ஆஸ் அ டாக்டர் ஐ அம் obliged to tell you this, நீங்களும் டாக்டர், health is very very important. It is the most neglected thing in this country. ஹெல்த்துக்கு ப்ரையாரிட்டியே கிடையாது. ஆஸ் அ கேன்சர் ஸ்பெஷலிஸ்ட் ஐ see this every day and I cry within myself. இவ்வளோ பெரிய கட்டி இருக்கும் கழுத்தில், ஏன் வரல, 8 நாளாக இருக்குது, 8 மாதமாக இருக்குது, ஏன் வரல, என் பையனுக்கு +2 எக்ஸாம். அப்போது health has taken second place to something else. Put it over all kinds of reasons which I in my opinion consider a reflection of non-awareness of health. Doctors கிட்டே இருக்குது. See, cervix cancer is number 2 in India. Number 2 in India in women. It is the only 100% preventable cancer. 100% preventable cancer. Western society is 0. Why are we having number 2? Lack of awareness. Including lady doctors are not doing it. ஸோ நீங்கள் டாக்டராக இருந்துட்டு மற்றவங்களை குணமாக்கணும்னா நீங்கள் முதல்ல ஆரோக்கியமாக இருக்கணும். இந்த ஆரோக்கியம்ன்றது தானாக வராது. we have to be conscious, we have to work on it. Principles are very basic. நல்லா தூங்கணும், நிறைய தண்ணி குடிக்கணும், சாப்பாடு விஷயத்தில் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கணும். இன்னைக்கு யார் உங்கள் டயட்டை டிசைட் பண்ணுறாங்க? ஸ்விக்கி, ஜொமேட்டோ, பீட்சா ஹட், டாமினோஸ். எங்கே போச்சு நம்ம டயட்டெல்லாம்? நம்ம தாத்தா பாட்டி சாப்பிட்ட டயட் வந்து ஹெல்த்தி டயட். ஆனால் அது நமக்கு பிடிக்காது. ஏன்னா அது பார்க்க நல்லா இருக்கு, ஸ்மெல்லு நல்லா இருக்கு. சாப்பிட்றது எதுக்கு? உயிர் வாழறதுக்கு, ஆரோக்கியமாக இருக்கிறதுக்கு, என்ஜாய் பண்ணுறதுக்கு கிடையாது. இந்த என்ஜாய்மெண்ட்ன்றது வந்து there are only 2 things, tongue and nose. நீங்கள் கண்ணை மூடிக்கிட்டு மூக்கை பற்றிக்கிட்டு உங்கள் தொண்டையில் களிமண்ணை போட்டாலும் பாதாள மங்கா போட்டாலும் ஒரே மாதிரி தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். இந்த நாக்கு காடியும் மூக்கு காடியும் ப்ளீஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக உங்கள் லிவர், உங்கள் கிட்னி, உங்கள் பிரெயின், உங்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் நீங்கள் சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க. இதை நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். அதே மாதிரி ப்ராசஸ்ட் ஃபுட். வாட் இஸ் ப்ராசஸ்ட் ஃபுட்? இட்ஸ் அ ஃபேன்சி வேர்ட் ஃபார் சேயிங் கெமிக்கலி மாடிஃபைட் ஃபுட். ஒரு சூப்பர் மார்க்கெட்டில் ஒரு பொருள் வச்சிருக்கிறாங்க, ஃபுட் ஸ்டஃப் செல் பை டிசம்பர் 2024. எந்த ஃபுட் 1.5 இயர்ஸுக்கு இருக்கும்? நேச்சர் இருக்கவே இருக்காது. அப்படி இருக்கணும்னா இட் ஹாஸ் டு பி கெமிக்கலி மாடிஃபைட். கெமிக்கலி மாடிஃபைட் சொன்னால் நீங்கள்லாம் உஷாராயிடுங்க. அதுதான் ப்ராசஸ்டு. அது இல்லாமல் பர்மிட்டட் கலர், பர்மிட்டட் கலர் யார் பர்மிட் பண்ணா? இதெல்லாமே கேன்சர் ப்ரொடியூஸ். இதெல்லாமே என்னெல்லாம் கிரானிக் டிசீசஸ். நீங்கள் லாஸ்ட் 40 இயர்ஸ் இந்தியாவில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆல் இந்தியா பிகம் த டயபிட்டிஸ் கேபிட்டல் ஆஃப் த வேர்ல்ட். கேன்சர் இஸ் ப்ரொஜெக்டட் டு டபுள் இன் த நெக்ஸ்ட் 25 இயர்ஸ். இதில் இல்லாமல் பேர் வாங்குறது, இதில் பேர் வாங்குறது ஒரு அளவே இல்லை. அப்போ நீங்கள் ஆஸ் அ டாக்டர் நீங்கள் தான் யூ ஷுட் பி அ ரோல் மாடல். உங்கள் ஹெல்த்தை முதல்ல பார்த்துக்குங்க, ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஆகாமல் இருங்க. இதெல்லாம் ஹெல்த்துக்கு பேசிக் இன்க்ரீடியன்ட்ஸ். இப்படி இருந்தீங்கனாலே உங்கள் ஹெல்த் நல்லாயிருக்கும். உங்கள் ஹெல்த் நான் பார்த்துக்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் செல்ஃபிஷ் திங். நான் எல்லாருக்கும் சொல்கிறேன், எஸ்பெஷலி லேடிஸ்க்கு சொல்கிறேன். நிறைய லேடிஸ்க்கு ஒரு ஹேபிட் உண்டு, வீட்டில் ஒன்று வேஸ்ட் ஆகுதுன்னா காசு கொடுத்து வாங்கினா வேணால் நான் சாப்பிடுவோம். நீங்கள் குப்பை தட்டியா? உங்கள் ஹெல்த் நீங்கள் பார்த்துக்கிட்டா எல்லாருடைய ஹெல்த்தையும் பார்த்துக்கலாம். எந்த வீட்டில் வேணால் பாருங்கள், ஒரு லேடி படுத்துறாங்க, வீடாக படுத்துருவோம். வேறு யார் படுத்தாலும் வீடு வாழ்க்கை போட்டு தான் போகும். ஸோ முதல்ல உங்கள் ஹெல்த்தை பார்த்துங்க. டாக்டர்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு நல்லா அட்வைஸ் பண்ணுறேன். டேக் கேர் ஆஃப் யுவர் ஹெல்த். திஸ் இஸ் நம்பர் 1 ப்ரையாரிட்டி. இல்லாட்டி நீங்கள் எந்த லைஃப்பில் என்ன அச்சீவ் பண்ணாலும் யூ கேனாட் என்ஜாய். அச்சீவ் பண்ணுறதே கஷ்டம். On the other hand, in any challenging time, if your health is there, you can meet any challenge. இதனால் ஞாபகத்தில் வச்சுங்க. நான் ஏற்கனவே சொன்ன உங்ககிட்ட ஃபோக்கஸ் போகணும், தன்னம்பிக்கை போகணும். when I first went to England எங்கள் அப்பா சொன்னார் டிக்கெட் வாங்கி தர முடியாது, எனக்கு காசு இல்லைங்க. நான் கடன் வாங்கி டிக்கெட் வாங்கி அங்கே போய் எக்ஸாம் எழுதி பாஸ் பண்ணி அப்புறம் ஜாப் அப்ளை பண்ண முடியும். நீங்கள் சொன்னால் நம்ப மாட்டீங்க. ஏன்னா இங்கேருந்து விசாரித்த போது யாரோ சொன்னாங்க ஈஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஒரு இடம் இருக்குது லண்டனில், லாட் ஆஃப் தமிழியன்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. ஒரு விஐபி சூட்கேஸ், பழைய சூட்கேஸ், அதை எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ஏர்போர்ட்லேருந்து ஈஸ்டாக போகணும். சும்மா ஒருத்தர் வீட்டு கதவை தட்டேன். நான் இந்தியாவிலேருந்து வந்துட்டேன், என் பேர் டாக்டர் ராஜா, உங்கள் வீட்டில் தங்கிக்கலாமான்னு. ஆனால் அந்த புண்ணியம் தங்கிக்கணும். அவங்க வீட்டு சோஃபாவில் தான் படுத்தேன், ஏன்னா தனியாக பெட்ரூம் கிடையாது. டெய்லி 4 கிலோமீட்டர் தூரத்தில் இருக்கிற ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் நடந்து போய் தான் ஜாப் அப்ளிகேஷன் எடுத்தது, கைப்பட இல்லை. தட் வாஸ் மை ஸ்டார்டிங் பாயிண்ட். ஆனால் எனக்கு என் மேலே இதுவே கிடையாது, ஃபியரே கிடையாது. ஐயோ இதை ஆகணும் என்ன ஆகும் அப்படி நினச்சா நான் போனால் சக்ஸஸ் ஆவேன் அப்படின்னு ஒரு வெறி. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வெறி உங்கள் மனசில் இருக்கும். நீங்கள் என்ன ஆசைப்படுறீங்களோ ஃபஸ்ட் யூ ஹாவ் அ ட்ரீம். இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டு ஹாவ் அ ட்ரீம். பட் ட்ரீமாகவே தான் இருக்கும். unless you find the application, the hard work, the commitment to achieve. அது உங்கள் மனசில் இருக்கும். அது யாரையும் மாற்ற விடக்கூடாது. நிறைய பேர் நம்மளை பின்னால் இருப்பாங்க, இது வேணாம், கஷ்டம், வம்பு, இதெல்லாம் எதுலையுமே டோன்ட் கெட் பண்றது. யூ ஸ்டிக் டு யுவர் ஃபோக்கஸ், யூ பி கிளியர் வாட் யூ வாண்ட். தப்பு பண்ணுங்க, பரவாயில்ல, அதான் தட் இஸ் லைஃப். தப்பு பண்ணால் நிறைய பாடம் படிக்கலாம். ஒன்று ட்ரை பண்ண ஒர்க் அவுட் ஆகாது, வேற ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க, இல்லை இதே வேற மாதிரி ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. பட் நெவர் எவர் கிவ் அப் ஆன் யுவர் செல்ஃப். இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் கிராஜுவேட் பண்ணுவீங்க, this is not the end. This is not even the beginning of the end. This is the end of a beginning. Your life starts today. Every day, remind yourself, today is the youngest day of the rest of my life. And today I am alive. And today I can achieve so many things. This is my message for you. I wish you all the very best. But wishes reality transform ஆகணும்னா அது உங்கள் கையில் இருக்கு. God bless you.
I think I am the odd man out here. I am no more a Ramachandra Murthy or anything. When I heard the previous two distinguished speakers, I could make out that they have some kind of a link with the medical field. Not some kind of link, but it's very strong link. But my link with medical field is only as a patient. Now today I must thank the management of Ragas Dental College for giving me this great opportunity to share my thoughts in this August gathering. I thank the students and would like to congratulate them for their achievements and adding the word doctor to your name. People used to ask me when I used to say I am Dr. R. Venkatraman. They will immediately say that I have this pain, I have that pain. So I used to tell them that I am not that doctor. I give pains to the student and the different doctor cures it. Now it's my pleasure to wish you all a very good evening. The distinguished guests on the dais, the chairman of Ragas Dental College, the principal, the vice principal, the parents of all these students, and the media members, and last but not the least, the graduating students. Very warm good evening to all of you. I am a very novice as far as medicine is concerned, but being a management professor, I thought I will share some of my thoughts with you all. Today is basically a confluence of the dreams of the faculty of this college to make you a doctor, and the dreams of your parents who have gone through, I'm sure, with a lot of patience and pressures to make you all a doctor. So today that dream of your parents has come true. For you, the graduating students, your dream also has come true. You have met the expectations of your parents. And please thank the faculty and the parents for making you a doctor and making you enter this health industry. I thought I will digress a little bit from what my previous speakers have said. I will probably talk about a life plan as you move out of this college. As Dr. Rajan said, you need to be on your own from now on. So how do you do that? So as a strategy man, I will ask you first to introspect. Look at what is your weakness. Look at what is your strength. A weakness is always not a weakness. There are examples of people who have converted their weakness into strength. I can recall the experience I had during my cricket days. I don't know whether you know about India's famous spin bowler, Chandrasekhar. At the age of 5, he had a polio attack. And he was treated for that. And in the process, that was a big weakness as far as he is concerned. His parents were constantly encouraging him to take up sports. And he was also under the treatment. At the age of 10, he got cured. But he had a very peculiar kind of thing. His wrist will turn not 180 degrees, but 240 degrees. And he had a kind of elasticity in his wrist, by virtue of which he can bowl a spin ball at a very high speed. So there are instances where he has beaten the batsman, beaten the wicketkeeper, and beaten all the fielders. So this is one classic example where you can convert your weaknesses into strength. Remember this. But the other issue here is, I think I will give you an example of a corporate situation where a weakness is converted into a strength. As your principal mentioned, I was deputed to launch the Indian Airlines services to Singapore. Now this was the first competitive field Indian Airlines was entering, and that too because the airlines saw an opportunity when the government opened up the skies. Now imagine I am going to be fighting Singapore Airlines in Singapore. And what was Indian Airlines? It was purely a domestic airlines. It never had any kind of experience in the international field. So that's a basic weakness we had. And I went to Singapore with a lot of stress. I used to spend nights without sleep. How am I going to be successful with all these weaknesses? Well, I had a team of good people, good thinkers. They told me that we have weaknesses, all right, but we also have strength. What is the strength? They said we have a strength of linking 74 cities in India. We have the strength of scheduling the aircrafts, but unfortunately some of the aircrafts, believe it or not, were older than the pilots. So how did I go about it? We said we can't take Singapore Airlines head on. So we decided that our segment will be the labor traffic and the expat Indians who go to Singapore and who would like to travel back to India and save on price. So we came out with a strategy saying that we will price our ticket in such a way that it will appeal to the travelers. We also looked at another thing. We have to get a captive market. How do we get that captive market? Our discussions with all the travel agents in India gave us a clue. We found that a lot of people from down south were traveling to Singapore via Colombo, and they were mostly the shopping crowd. When we had discussions with these people, they said we'll give you 120 passengers every flight, provided you link Trichy with Singapore. But the problem is those days we can't have a direct flight from Singapore to Trichy and back. Our aircrafts were not long-range aircrafts. But we had a strength. What was that strength? The strength was we could schedule. We had a scheduling control by which what we did was we introduced a flight. We didn't introduce a flight, we had a flight Chennai-Colombo. That flight we made it hop at Trichy. So we had a connecting flight Chennai to Trichy, connecting the Singapore flight. So this way we could get the people from Singapore to Trichy. But the next problem we had was, what if Singapore Airlines can operate? We'll be just thrown out. It was Goliath versus the giant, as you can see. So how did we do that? The biggest advantage we had is the Trichy airport cannot take a wide body jet. It can take only a Boeing aircraft, and Singapore Airlines did not have a Boeing aircraft. So we operated a Boeing aircraft, Chennai, Trichy, Colombo, and we linked it, we connected it with Singapore with our wide body aircraft. So this is basically something transforming your weakness into a strength. I'm sure you can take a few leaf out of this, and if at all you have a weakness, convert it into strength. The question is, how do you find that you have a weakness? Probably you need to ask your mentors, your faculty members, who will tell you probably what is your weakness and your strength. In the management field, it's called a SWOT analysis. S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunities, T stands for threat. Now my experience in launching the Indian Airlines service successfully in Singapore is basically a combination of this SWOT analysis. We leveraged our strength, we looked at some opportunities, we tried to overcome the threats, and this is one way we succeeded. So when you dream, like I would like to quote Dr. Kalam, he said every student must dream. But dream sometimes has a very negative connotation. Normally, it's a very common statement which people give. He walks like a zombie dreaming in some other world. So, Dr. Kalam said, the dream is not what you see in your sleep. The dream is what disturbs your sleep. Which means that you should have a strategic stretch in your accomplishment. Dr. Prahlad, who used to be a very famous management consultant, he used to say that strategic stretch is very important, because when you achieve, say, 100 meters race, X amount of seconds, the next time you should have that strategic stretch to make it X plus 1. Unless you have that drive in you, you will not be able to achieve things. Now, all these strengths and weaknesses we are talking about, we should also have a vision. Today, if you see the corporate, every corporate head office will have a vision and a mission. The simplest definition of a vision is your game plan. Your game plan in life. It is both your personal life as well as your career life. It's very important to have a vision because it gives you a direction. Mother Teresa had a vision. She said, I have to support people who have no support. What she meant was destitutes. And today you can see 4,000 people all over the world are members of the mission of charity. So when you have a vision, you have a goal. And when you have a goal, you try to achieve it. How? You need to plan your life strategy. That's why I talked to you about the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So you have to look at your strengths and weaknesses, not your strengths and weaknesses alone, but you also have to look externally. You need to, in this age of competition, in this age of globalization, for achieving something, you need to be unique. In a basket of red apples, you need to be a green apple. Otherwise, you don't stand up on the crowd. You become, as Dr. Rajan said, you will be one of those pedestrian kind of person who just trundles around. Now, it is for you to choose what you want to become. But if you want to achieve, you must have a distinctive competence. That distinctive competence only makes you different from others. And for achieving a distinctive competence, you need to think out of the box. I'll give you two examples. One, I'll give you an individual, and the other one I'll give you a corporate. I'm sure you're learning something or hearing something which is totally not related to your area, but then I thought you're going to formulate your life, your next plans in life. This might come helpful to you. Now, in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico, an American athlete called Fosburn, he was participating in the high jump. Normally you would have seen in all these things, in the competition, people jump across the bar with the stomach facing the bar. But Osborne had different ideas. He came out with the famous Osborne flop, which means that you actually face the beam with your back. And he won the gold medal. So this is what is called differential thinking or thinking out of the box. You have to constantly do it to keep yourself abreast in this competitive world. The second example, probably I will talk about the Tatas. Tata came out with a vehicle called Ace. In Tamil they call it Puttiyanai. What is this Puttiyanai? Tata felt that the last mile is never reached when delivering a good, because India is full of gullies and lanes. So you will find the lorries waiting at the entrance of the lane, and you will have a tempo or a cart which takes the stuff into the godown. Tata said, let's have a vehicle which meets with this last mile requirement. So they created this Tata Ace. It also gave a psychological satisfaction to the people who are owning tempos. Because people used to say, he is driving a three-wheeler. Now this guy has the status symbol of driving a four-wheeler. So those are all examples of out-of-the-box thinking. You take Apple, iPhone. 96, iPhone was almost closing down. Steve Jobs took over iPhone, and from a revenue of some 8 billion in 2004, today the company is worth 346 billions. He brought in a mobility in music. He brought in a total concept in the phones, which you use now. In fact, if you see the presentation of Steve Jobs, he will say, people are using stick for what? God has provided you with a finger. You should use the finger. So these are all the changes which Steve Jobs brought out of the box. So he brought in the iPod, he brought in the iPhone, he brought in the iPad, and he also brought in new wearables. It is a total kind of disruptive technology across the field. And today, Apple is one of the most valuable companies in the world. So when you want to succeed, you need to have a distinctive competence. You need to think out of the box. Your field actually is a very unique field. You have a great opportunity to touch the minds of people. You have a great opportunity to give happiness to people. So, wear the white coat with dignity, pride, and passion. If you're not going to have passion in your work, you're never going to deliver. Treat your patients with empathy, earn their trust, because half the treatment is mind and half is medicine. So if the patient has a trust in you, you'll find that it's much easier to cure him than giving only medicines. Gujarat High Court, after the COVID crisis, gave a judgment. The doctors are embodiment of God in this world. Keep up the great thing going with your service to the humanity. I wish you all good luck in your future endeavors. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
One more year, Allies. Dear Principal, Vice Principal, highly learned and talented professors from 9 specialties, dear faculty members, respected parents, my lovable dental graduates. Good evening to everyone. Before I speak few words, I request all the audience to give big applause to these three very wonderful, excellent, more informative points, lecture, the need of the day for the youth in our country. So once again, on behalf of the budding dental graduates and parents, faculty members, I take this opportunity to once again thank you all for your wonderful speech. Throughout long back said, for the parents and as well as children, தந்தை மகனுக்காற்றும் உதவி அவையத்து முந்தியிருப்பு செயல். That's what these people already explained the role of the parents, particularly Dr. Ragas. He said a lot of his personal stories. My story also equal to Dr. Ragas. Dr. Ragas, sir, my story also equal to you. I belong to, even though a big farmer family in my small village, when I grew from childhood, the age of 18, 19, 20, my parents, my family has become very poor, very poor. I came to Chennai to get admission in veterinary college, was denied. Then I thought to become agriculturist, that also denied. Of late I joined BA Economics in INR College, the end of September month. It was my small story. மம்மூத்தின்னு சொன்னால் நிறைய ஆக்கல், காத்தல், அழித்தல் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. இந்த அழித்தலில் இந்த லீ வந்து 2 லீ இருக்கு. இங்கே வந்து அழித்தல். They give a lot of information. அள்ளி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, அள்ளி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. This is what students nowadays want, this type of information, guidance. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate the principal and faculty members, vice principal, the committee of this convocation function, who have invited the 3 renowned speakers, given a lot of information, knowledge to the dentists. Really, I am so happy. So what I want to say here is 3 letters, A, B, C. Only 3 letters of my dental graduates. A reminds you aim in your life. Unless otherwise you have some aim in your life, you cannot achieve things in your profession. B means very important. The B denotes, expresses behavior is very important. Behavior is very, very important. Respect your parents, respect your faculty members, respect to the elders, respect to our citizens. The behavior is very, very important. And behavior with the patients, like I right to say that. You should receive the patients with smiling face. You should receive the patients with encouraging words. வாங்க உட்காருங்க, நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா, பார்த்தேன் அந்த கல்யாணத்தை கூட பார்த்தேன், நல்லா இருந்தீங்களா. So the way in which you invite the patients, 50% of this problem will be solved. Instead of that, your behavior is, you make the patient to wait for a long time, then next you cannot get more patients in your clinic. The behavior is very important, particularly doctors. You should know the psychology of the patients. And you should behave in such a way that you are one of the relatives or one of the members in their family. So behavior is doctors, behavior is very, very important. That C letter, it denotes already the people's explained the confidence, the last speaker, good speaker. Confidence is very, very important. The most of the people, they don't have confidence, therefore they cannot achieve in their life. As a management, you know that we have faced a lot of problems in running the dental college. But even then, I will not lose my confidence. I can make this Ragas Dental College on par with any other leading colleges, not only in India but also in the world. That confidence makes people to get success in their profession. Therefore, these three words don't forget in your life, that A, B for behavior, and C for confidence. Definitely your future will be very bright. On behalf of the faculty members, on behalf of the members of the management, on behalf of the principal, vice principal and speakers, I wish you all for your bright and successful future. Thank you all very much.
The J.R. Trust, Professor Kanagaraj, Principal Dr. Anil, Vice Principal Dr. Karumaran, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, colleagues, teachers, heads of the department, graduating students, and the proud parents. I deem it an honor to be invited to share a few words with you on this auspicious occasion. Graduation is indeed a milestone in our life. This is a turning point, and this is a day which none of us will ever forget. But this is also a day for us to look back and say, where did we begin, where are we, and where to go from here. You all came to us 5 years ago as school students. You worked very hard, you persevered, you went through one of the most difficult and challenging times, and then earned your degree. My hearty congratulations to you for having achieved this milestone. The fact that you came to this institution and now you have graduated also is a day that you should look back and say, what is it that I want to do next? The concept of a self-made man or woman is a myth. If you have come this far in your life, it's because you have had the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of several people. And this is a day that you should probably be grateful to people who carry the footprints on their shoulders. Your parents. Many of you parents here must have taken a loan or would have sacrificed the dream of owning a swanky car or a beautiful house just to educate you. What is the best way to repay them? The only thing that your parents want is to hear the sweet word that you are a worthy son or a worthy daughter. Not only in terms of a wonderful professional, but also a very good human being and a proud citizen of this country. So you owe this to your parents today, and this is the day to thank them with the bottom of your heart. We, the teachers at Ragas, are assembled here to acknowledge in public, in the presence of your parents, your friends, your faculty, distinguished members of the society, that you have all graduated and you have been trained very well, and you are fit as anybody else to be a member of this prestigious profession, and you are on par with your teachers today as peers of this wonderful profession. The founding father of the institution had this as a vision. He wanted universal learning, not only to give you education in dentistry, but also to make you a worthy human being, and I am certain that you will all pursue this. Ragas Dental College has been a very prestigious institution. From its humble beginning, today we have grown to be an institution which is well recognized throughout the country and abroad. Having served this institution for almost 30 years, I stand here with utmost humility and pride for having watched several of our students excel in various areas. Many of them have become principals of institution, presidents of their respective association, successful practitioners, and wonderful human beings. If you look back at Ragas, there are two shining examples. The man and the family that holds the torch and runs this institution today itself is an inspiration. Professor Kanagaraj, from his very humble beginnings from down south, came to this city, and I am told that he stayed in a lodge paying a few rupees a day. And today he heads an institution which is by far provides all education right from school to PhD. That is the greatest service he and his family has done. Despite all the challenges that they face from the government, from the regulating authorities, they have steadfastly made sure that they can do what they have to do for the betterment of the students, and I think you should be thankful to them. What greater example can you have than to see that Ragans go far in life than to look at the career path of our own principal? There are very few institutions in this country can boast of the first batch of students occupying the pivotal post of a principal of a very prestigious institution. That speak volumes not only for the management and the institution, but also for the capability of the staff and what the students can achieve. And we are very proud of that fact. Now, what is there after graduation? You can choose one of two paths. I'm sure all of us want to be successful. And how do you define success? You will have your idea of success. You may have dreams as to where you want to live, whom you want to live with, where you want to practice, what kind of specialty you want to do, what kind of a name that you want to make, and what is eventually a career tree. And I'm sure you will know how to get there. But that is one way of looking at life. But we should also look at the other end. And what is that which is more important? Having pursued this dream for 30 years, sometimes when I talk to my classmates, I ask them, are you successful? Everybody says, yes, I am. But are you completely satisfied with the way life is? Some of them feel that life is incomplete. For success is one thing, to be recognized in your profession, but to be whole and complete, you need something more. It is said that we get a lot of joy by giving something back to the society. We make a living by what we earn, but we make a life by what we give. So this is also an opportunity for you to stay focused and contribute something to the society, either in your profession or outside of it. We have an ample opportunity to serve the society. Oral health disease contributes to more than 25% of all diseases in the humankind. Oral cancer is the 8th most common cancer. And today we know that health is not about not being sick, but about feeling comfortable, feeling confident, and being self-assured. And we as dentists play a very pivotal role in improving the self-esteem of individual and making them a confident individual. And you people are lucky that you have chosen this profession to pursue this path, not only to treat illness, but also to improve the life and quality of individuals and make them feel very self-assured as they go by. If there's one thing that you have to do, commit yourself today on this monumental moment without any apology, that you will all work not for the outcome, but for the journey. And I'm certain after 30 years, you will all be in an auditorium like this, or more importantly, in a podium like this, and be very thankful and humbled as I am today for having chosen a profession that has given you a very exalted position in the society, not only because you are a professional, but also because you have the opportunity to serve humanity. I wish you all the very best. I'm certain that you all have a very wonderful future. Don't only have a successful career, but have a very well-rounded, complete life. Good luck and God bless.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today, and I realize I'm the last person standing between you and the rest of the program, so I shall be very, very brief. It's said that, when all is said and done, what else have you got to say? You had excellent pearls of wisdom. You had Dr. Sriram tell you about how to make today better than yesterday and focus on tomorrow so that you can do better. You had a fantastic speech given by Dr. Raja, who said that you need to be focused and you need to take care of your health. And I think that's a very important message to take back home. And you had Dr. Venkatraman talk about recognizing your weaknesses and making it a strength. These are good life lessons to have. I was inspired, and I'm sure the students were inspired by your excellent pearls of wisdom. Thank you very much. And we had our respected chairperson speak about the ABCs of life, and he is, as always, inspiring. Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring words. Once again, a very good evening to you all. To my colleagues and invited guests of the dais, the star of today's function, the students of Ragas Dental College and Hospital and their parents, we welcome you all with a very, very warm greeting. It's nice to have you all here. I have to confess, Dr. M.G.R called me up last night and said, we all talk about clinics and practice because dentistry is about practice. Please do say a few words about research. And I said, are you sure you really want me to talk about research in this forum? But I think I have a few words to tell you regarding this. You all work very hard. You all studied very hard, overcome so many obstacles, and reached this milestone today. I congratulate you and your parents for having come to this position. And it's indeed a great honor and pleasure to address you in this graduation day today. I deem it an extremely great honor for having invited me here and to share these dais with such luminaries and to stand before you. I'm really, really humbled. Now that you have become dentists, you have the power to relieve pain of your patients, to restore their dental function, to enhance their beauty, and to prevent disease. But it doesn't stop there. You have an opportunity to change lives, to influence lives, and establish relationship with your patients and colleagues, which is going to last you a lifetime and define who you are. And I think that's a very important thing in this profession. As a doctor, you get to establish so much relationships, so much contacts, and you move along with your patients and colleagues to really lead a very satisfactory life, like what Professor Dr. Krishnaswamy was telling. It's not about practice, it's about being satisfied with what exactly you do. And you need to understand that dentistry is just not a profession, it's a calling. And when it's a calling, it's a lifelong learning experience. You learn throughout your life. Like somebody said today, one of the speakers said, you can't take it as the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end. Your life starts here today. And that's very, very important. And to do this, you need to be updated with what's happening around the world, the latest in research. And why? Why exactly do you need to keep up with what's happening in this world? If you're going to be a clinician, it will definitely increase your patient outcome and you can keep yourself updated. There is another aspect to doing research and keeping yourself updated with research. It increases your capacity to think critically. It helps you in problem solving, which is going to help you in your practice every day, directly or indirectly. And that's one of the reasons why you need to keep yourself updated and learn throughout your life. There is another aspect of research which is becoming very, very common today. That is, out of research, you can establish your career, you can increase your credibility, you can increase your professional reputation. And this is a very important thing to keep in mind. Just think for a minute. You've seen numerous advertisements of institutions and individuals. A few years back, people used to claim, I've seen so many patients, we do so many complex procedures, and these are the procedures we offer. Today you won't see any of that in the news. Being an individual or an institution, if you need bragging rights, it's about how much research you have done, how many publications you have done, where do you measure up there with international institutions like Harvard, and what exactly is your contribution to the national and international forum. So this is a very, very important aspect. And I urge you all to choose a topic, either being a clinician in your practice or being an academic person in the classroom. Choose a topic, any topic which can inspire you, intrigue you, or motivate you. Could be any field. It could be with reference to your clinical practice. It could be for your community or population, something which benefits the country. You saw the example of Tata Industries, how they did that. Choose a topic, follow it with passion, And I'm sure if you do that, you will have a great impact outside of your practice, outside of your classroom, and contribute significantly to your profession and to the advances in the dental field for the country as a whole. And I assure you that if you do that, you'll make yourself proud, you'll make your parents proud, and this institution which has given you a great education proud. I wish you all the best and wish you a very, very great and bright career in the future. Thank you very much.